Young Merlin had made a quick escape just outside the crumbling walls that bisected the Isles of Britannica and fled back to Camelot. But something was brewing much further south in Egypt, and an unexpectedly expected battle of convictions between two very different but very powerful entities was just about to bubble over.
Hey, do you want to play with us? It's easy. We just toss this ball towards those wooden pins standing up down there.
Do you think you could strike them all down at once?
It's harder than you think. Where are you from?
Are you here with the church?
No, they're not with the church. Look at what they're wearing. They're just a foreigner like the rest.
Oh, wait, do you hear that?
Hear what?
The drums. I think they're bringing more prisoners for questioning. Come on, I don't want to miss it this time.
I don't want to go. They probably just found another werewolf or a vampire. They're just gonna burn him or something anyway. Ask this stranger here to take you.
Fine, Bomani. Stranger? Will you take me? Will you take me to the town center to hear the questioning, please? Wait, here comes a prisoner.
Wait, who's that?
Oh,
Who is it?
it's the high priest from the Temple of the Dead. The grand necromancer of Egypt.
Well, it's about time they get rid of him.
He's a very strange and wicked man, stranger. But he's powerful. They say he can bring dead people back to life.
No, I don't believe it. My mother said he's just a trickster. He just makes people half dead and then heals them with medicine.
Come on.
He's not magic at all. All the magic died hundreds of years ago when the new god was born.
He's real. I've seen what he can do. And magic cannot die. He's the keeper of the great northern deserts of Africa. I wonder what will happen to all of it if something happens to him. His mother is from India. She's from a very powerful necromancer family. And they say his father was a mummy that she brought back to life. A pharaoh from centuries ago. He's of royal witch blood.
Please, he made it all up. He's no pharaoh's son.
Wait, look. There's the Roman clergyman. The governor must be away.
This should be interesting.
Prisoner, you will speak the bishop's tongue when you address him, or yours will be cut out. Do you understand? You've already been warned about using your dark magic here within the confines of the city several times. Perhaps I should take your ears as well, since they don't seem to do you much good, High Priest.
You, stranger, who are you? Where are you from? You do not answer me. Have you already lost your tongue to these oppressors? You are not supposed to be here, are you? Yes, you are a traveler indeed. How many worlds have you seen, Silent One? How many eons have you traversed? You've seen much death and life since your journey has began, haven't you? I can see it in your eyes.
Quiet, prisoner. Get out of the cage.
Until we meet again.
Walk. The bishop wishes to speak with you. Do not make a fool of yourself before a servant of God.
Come forward, please. Let me see you. Everyone quiet down. I know this is very exciting.
Make this quick, servant. Why have you taken me into custody? What have I done? And please curtail the garrulous sermon. My soul is well spoken for.
I see. Very well. Are you the great necromancer of the desert, the high priest of the god of death, and still practicing here in Egypt? Are you, Ahmose? Yes. Well, at last we meet in person. I, of course, am the lead clergyman of this territory. I am Alexander, the bishop. I trust the local authorities have notified you of us coming here in advance. I must be honest, I figured you would have left and saved yourself the trouble of public persecution. You see, I take no great delight in rendering these thorny decisions, these spiritual quandaries of life and death. In such a civil arena such as this, I am internally embattled, day after day, High Priest, and I feel I'm caught in between the fate of the damned and the hope for their salvation.
Salvation? Salvation from what, Bishop?
Why, from your wicked life, of course. You meddle about with the corpses of your own people and promise their families that their souls are shifting to another dimension of some sort. Some other plane of existence where they will still yet live. You imply that these grave goods that you enter with them will accompany them in this life after life. And this is guaranteed for all. Without the intercession of the ghost of a living God that has already come in the flesh to proclaim his own promise. And why hasn't your God of death come to prove himself? What proof do you have that you are personally sanctioned to perform these unnatural ceremonies and rituals?
Your armies and rulers are hanging onto their footholds by their mere toes. How long before the stone walls of your gilded cities close in on you and swallow you and your people whole? You have enemies everywhere, Bishop, even from within your ranks, even your own men from Greece. They come to us not for the peace we bring to the dead, but for the grace we show those left behind. We are not artisans of barbaric turpitude, Bishop. We are soul shifters. We are agents of transcendence, something we should all aspire to experience before we cross over into the next life.
Well, the Empire hasn't yet fallen. It will take much more than sticks and stones and saber rattling to dispatch something as vast and sovereign as the Empire of Rome. But the landscape, yes, which it is indeed changing, reforming. And the Church of the One True God is prepared to reform its people as well.
Again, you speak of altering the natural state of the universe. The cycle of life and death have been operating perfectly without our intercession. We live, we die, and we live again somewhere else. Even the most powerful mortals of Earth, such as you and myself, are still just that, mortal.
So why then, great and powerful necromancer, do you feel the need to guide the soul to the afterlife, if everything works so perfectly on its own?
I help guide the soul. I help the sojourner cross over, intact, whole. I open their ears, their eyes, and their mouths, so that they can see, hear, taste, and speak in the afterlife. I do not impede or revoke death nor life.
If what you do is so essential and revered, why has your own coven of witches sold you to the Romans? And for a nominal sum, I should add. Betrayed by your own wife, no less. The most staunchest supporter in your coven, I would presume.
Yes, my love, so courageous. And so loyal she still yet remains. I imagine it didn't take much to convince her, as it was all part of our planning after all, Bishop.
All part of the planning of what exactly?
Please be clear. What is it that you want to say to me? Or rather, what message do you wish me to exemplify for the masses gathered here? What honor have you bestowed upon my coven of necromancers to have the reputation of its high priest flogged so publicly? What scares you most about the service we do for our people?
Fear is not applicable here, witch. We are more concerned with maintaining a certain level of safety and virtue. And these dark arts you
virtues
practice.
have never come under scrutiny until you were sold an impossible story of a man who brought himself back to life
Is that correct?
Well, yes, that's
A
right.
necromancer?
But... No, not a necromancer.
And now you question our virtues. I and my people refuse to be oppressed and driven from our homelands. You will allow us our freedoms to practice our way of life, or we should be put to death.
Now, Ahmose, please be reasonable. You cannot condemn your own people on their behalf. You don't speak for them. Does he, good people?
As I've said, plans have already been set in motion, Bishop. My death will not end the practice of necromancy. There will be another high priest to take my place, and another keeper to tend to the artifacts, who will keep our precious relics away from lawless figureheads such as yourself.
Oh, yes, the artifacts. We've heard of your many strange trinkets. Charmed or cursed, are they? We've heard of a box that whispers.
None of these trinkets, as you call them, should concern you, much less the box.
Nonetheless, I, as well as the local authorities, should like to see
You
it.
covet your martyrs. You crown them with halos when you set them in plaster and glass. And now that you're faced with a powerful being that doesn't align with your doctrines, you aim to silence them. But here I am in the flesh, Bishop, and you will not close my mouth, not in this life, nor the next.
You and your people can believe what you want, Ahmose. You're
It is
not...
not what we believe, it is what we are. We are living gods, and you cannot burn our birthright away. The truth will always remain. It will always survive. The truth will never die.
Are you absolute in this, in your position, in your reasoning? Is this your final stance?
Yes. You cannot destroy what you did not create. Not you nor I. So do what you will.
Your testimony has been formally acknowledged. Our imperial inquiry is complete. I will now render the judgment of the formal charges of hearsay and the unlawful practice of witchcraft and necromancy. I reckon you as guilty of these charges. However, after considering your repute in this territory, I will permit you to choose your own end, to show the breadth of the mercies of our institution. Ahmose, how would you like your sentence of death to be carried out?
I am the high priest of the Temple of the Dead. I am Ahmose. My people will lay me to rest in the manner I have instructed them. They know the customs. They know the rites. They know the price of this blood magic. You will allow this, or face the wrath of my vengeance from the afterlife.
Well enough, High Priest. Guards, return him to his chambers so that he may see to his final affairs.
Witness my dreaded prophecy, listener.
I think he's talking to you, stranger.
Commit this seemingly brief encounter with me to your memory and spread the promise of my return. I will be raised from the dead at the moment I am needed, not a moment before or a moment after. My wife and high priestess will perform the ritual of the opening of the mouth. She will ensure my mouth, my ears, my nose, and my eyes will be open and ready to receive all that is due to me in the afterlife. And every hecat of witch blood spilled by our oppressors will be recollected and rectified at your own ruination. All consequences will be exacted for this political persecution. I will be laid alive within my family tomb, alongside the blood scepter of the willing gifted to us by the Maiden of Magic from the north. And as I slowly perish, my glad and willing sacrifice will guide my soul to my next body, wherever and whenever that may be. My next resting place has already been prepared and awaits my body. Death is not the end. It is only the beginning.